Hello, everybody. Death Pile Picker. You want to come in here with me, Mike? Or maybe I could pull on some other experienced sellers that are way better than you. Mike, you tell me if you want to come on. I'm going to do a couple things. The first part is just to make sure that everybody listening is in. Hey, DJ, DJ's bringing crazy stuff tomorrow. You got to join us because we got to beat these guys for St. Jude tomorrow at what is that? 4, 5, 6, 6 o'clock, I think. I'm looking at brand new toys over here. We're selling them today. We're selling them tomorrow. We're gonna mix other stuff in as well, but we're gonna do that. I'll be your PR. All right, brother. I'll be your PR too. It's a pass. I'm on Android at the moment. I'm Steve. Hello. I wanted to do a quick little advice thing, not a tutorial, but I want to make people aware of a few things that are trying really hard to sell over here. So if you got some sellers that you might want to, that you think are available, you want to bring them in here and we'll have a little chat. And I want to ask the experienced sellers to also give their advice in here. I watched quite a few shows yesterday and I was impressed by a few that started off poorly. We're encouraging multiple shows to be running at one time, but that does not mean that it's always a good idea at this point. Like for instance, today, and I wish all of you well, but there are 3 toy shows running at 6 o'clock today. That's going to be a rough time. That's going to be a rough time. There'll be one that really does really well just because they're already in this pipeline of raids and stuff. Encourage people to reach out and get yourself in a good position. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. If I would love to see 3 shows running at once, but I'd love to one of them to be, jewelry or ephemera or whatever, just something totally separate. But 3 toy shows at one time is going to be pretty tough. Pick an anthology yesterday surely kicked my butt, but we still had fun and wrote it out, right? So I would really look at those shows and say, yeah, it's no big deal to run over somebody else's show, but it's way better strategy to be running at this point, to be running something else, not to be running the exact same thing. And so you may want to move around, post it a few days out when you know you can go. A lot of times I will look, and sometimes like I did today, Second Chance Treasures, we're doing it right now. I'm doing this. I wanted to have this conversation with people, but I'm like, I'm going to give this conversation more right into him. There's also a DVD show going on right now. If you're interested in super cheap DVDs, there's a discussion thread specifically for raids. I would go to the live seller chat for sure. And what we envision eventually having is the Dibdit chat, and then underneath it, one that deals, we'll probably call them what we call our own marketplaces because we've shut them down. Antiquity chat, antiques and glass and whatever. We'll have a chat specific to that. The admin and mods will be in there, and one of us will be into those chats. And that's where the organization will take place. That's where we want it to take place. Mimi's already been organizing. So to have a chat specifically either about the category or about raid trains is envisioned in the future. There's lots of stuff that's in flux and changing right now. Thankful, Russ. Thank you. Save it. Okay. But I really want to give some advice because here's a little thing. I'm not a great live seller, never have been. I've gotten way better. So, and anybody else chime in with some advice. The thing on Dibdit that really works best is the beginning of the show. My goal is to have 3 sales at, I don't care how many at the beginning, but to get 3 sales to 3 different people in the first 10 minutes of a show, because there is a huge advantage to getting people having one purchase. The buyers will tell you this. They're resistant to buy unless they see that they can buy multiple things because it reduces the shipping cost per item way down. I'm going to get to this question in a second if it was a question. So sometimes at the beginning, you got to run, maybe not your best item. I don't run my best item at the beginning. I will tell people, you saw me do it yesterday, for instance. We were running a closed show and I wanted to keep the audience. So I was like, hey, we're going to run one of these at some point in this show. It won't be in the next 10 minutes, but we're going to run one. And it wasn't at the end. It was close, but not at the end. And it's like, hang around because you want to keep everybody around as much as you can, simply because you want, if you're selling clothes and you've got people in there who don't really want to buy clothes, every once in a while they see something that's perfect for them, their size, good deal, good price. So you want to keep people around. So how do you do that? One is to get them to make a purchase early, because at that point, that progressive shipping kicks in for them and they're much more likely to bid if you have 3 different people who have that. So sometimes at the beginning, you might want to run an item that, you're taking a loss on, maybe even a loss leader. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but be strategic. Get an item people want early. Don't run your worst stuff at the beginning and get better as you go. It's not going to work, because you will lose your audience because you're running stuff nobody wants. How do you buyer only giveaways? Yeah, it's not an option yet. We've asked for it multiple times, and it'll be a thing in the future, I believe. We also don't, I don't tell people do giveaways. It's strategic. We don't want this to be a place where everybody comes just for giveaways, but it is a part. We do allow it. We want it. I try to do the $1 offers and stuff. Little announcement we're probably going to be doing. I can pry $500+ out of my wallet. A Nintendo Switch 2, probably near the end of September here, or maybe halfway through, as a $1 offer. You could do local pickup. I'm not sure the part how it's done, but you can do it. You refund the shipping, and we'll get into that. All right. Somebody asked or had a long one right here I wanted to get to, and I can't find it right now. Treasure Trolls. I've been trying to schedule my shows at least 3 days ahead to call my spot, kind of. Right. And you're not calling your spot, but you are calling your spot. I've got, I understand that. What just happened to my chat? It's all funky now. Watch some really good sellers. Try to learn from them. I don't know what it is, what kind of magic Running for the King has, but man, you run a good show. I get bored with shows with a lot of dead time. I'm not too seasoned as a live seller, but I try to run items back to back to back and keep things rolling. Absolutely. Watch his shows, man. He does really good with that. He's very personable. People like him. Just have yes, in custom, or what do you call it? It may delay the payment to you unless you're over 1,000 sales, but you can put custom shipping and mark it as shipped. But let's clarify that. I had to crawl before I started walking. Yes. And that's the other thing. It's not going to be instant success. If you come on here thinking, this is Kevin said, this is whatever, there will be tough days and good days for sure. Can we ask them to allow video thumbnails for live shows? Very beneficial. Huh. Yeah, I suppose we could do that. Jezzy B is in here. You should have $100 dropped in your account, by the way, as does Pacific Picker. There's just those little things. The speed of a show is really key. Previewing what's coming up. I do it all the time. I look around. I'm like, we got this coming up next. We got this coming up next, and, we're going to do this item in a minute. And you got to give people reason to stay around. Is the contest canceled on the other marketplace? No, it was all combined into, it wasn't each marketplace. It was the sum total of all of them. Mama Bear, good question. And so we've got that done. Feasible if running shows in local markets to refund. Let's see. That one to buy too fit. It needs to be a button so shipping isn't charged. Yeah, I understand. It's not there yet. Be active on the site really helps, no doubt. Be in chat, even if you're not buying, being there, supporting, for sure. We talked about Second Chance Treasures came on I missed what Kaylin said. Sorry, Tony. Came on my show last night. We've had people reach out. Just don't be mad or upset that you see me. I was like, who's this DJ guy? And he's going, I know DJ, right? There's going to be times I really want to support the folks that have been around here a long time, like Dusty Box, that have been selling a long time. And so, obviously I can't go live with, first of all, just much prefers when we're doing it on our own because she wants to sell the heck out of stuff. Get it out of here. And let me tell you, look at this today here. Telling the day. I shouldn't show Tony. He's going to get a little preview because some of this stuff's going on tomorrow. All that new stuff there. I'm not selling my Popples puzzles. Those are brand new. Just trying to get me to sell that. Come on.
I want to see you donate.
Yes, she wants me to win, so we donate. Let me tell you. And they're going to donate regardless on their show too. So we're going to do that. Mama Bear, I love that because sometimes it's lonely talking. Yeah, yeah, no doubt. So get in there, support people, and just accept the fact that it's not going to be perfect. We're growing today. We put out some promos today. If you are brand new to the platform, that giveaway is going to go off at 4 o'clock. Well, sometime in the 4 o'clock hour. I'm not sure how Rob has it set up, and then we'll move on to another big one, and I'll pay for this one. Not doing it, Crispy Toys. Those are 2 sealed popples. They're not worth a fortune, but they're worth something, and I think they're really freaking cool. Sealed popple puzzles. Any live sellers want to add to the conversation? Some tips in here would be amazing. I'm going to start doing these a little bit more often and bringing some people on, some folks that are admins, mods. We are going to add admins and mods. A lot of people have reached out. Just hold on a little bit. We'll get to it for sure. Pinjo, stay organized. Amen. That is the truth. I screwed up an order last week. It was only one item, but it does happen. Take care of your buyers, y'all. I hear so many people that send me a message, and this is what is like, it's not that big a deal. I don't want a refund or whatever, but I'm not going to buy from that person again. Whew, man, you got to take care of the people that buy from you. You got to take care of them. You got to treat them right, even if you don't always agree, because they will come back and buy from you if they trust you. And that's part of it too. You got to grow that trust. Don't ever whine and complain like nobody's buying my stuff. Well, I'm not watching that show. Maybe it's not for you, right? If you put something out for $1 that's worth $100 and you get 30 and you're ticked off about it, it's nobody's fault but yours. You just have to let your buyers know that, yeah, absolutely, and buy for them too. Bring what they want. I can name on one hand who I have gotten a shipping refund from. Yeah, look, I know certain buyers that buy a lot, and they're not dumb. They know where they're at and the other person is at, and they paid $70, and they know that box cost $30 to ship. They know that. And yes, we build in a little bit of padding on that shipping. Okay. I do that. I'm not losing money on shipping. And plus you're losing it on some. So to claw back a little bit to take care of your whatever is fine. I'm not talking to the penny here, but if you just make $40 on a box and you send them no refund or a $10 refund, then just know that you'll have less buyers that way. Other problem where I lose on shipping, yes. So you got to be careful. You got to protect yourself as a seller as well. And so I will say things. I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm in Virginia. If you're in Washington State, I'm likely going to lose money on this thing. So you got to be careful. That's why I think it's important to put your shipping a little higher to guard yourself against that. And for the close people, you're going to make money if you put that shipping higher. But if they know that you will send them a little shipping refund, then they're likely to pay that little extra shipping because they know they're going to get some of it back, and it protects you on the other side. People buy more from those who show genuine care for them as a person, not just a number. Remember the little details. Yeah, for sure. Live seller was terrified. I was terrified by my first time. Just do it, even if you're scared. Yeah, no doubt. And just kind of almost assume your first sale is going to be bad, and maybe your second, maybe your third, and be willing to meet people and tell them that. Just be honest. Like, hey, I'm nervous here. I don't want to lose money on this stuff. It's not, I need money. This is what, dude, just be honest with people. Hey, Chernock just rated me. That is awesome. Thank you, Chernock. He was over there on Common selling. All the marketplaces have folded into one. We are, it's a little wonky the way it looks right now. Everything will get fixed eventually. It's going to be an awesome Q4. Yesterday, we sold a ton in here. Thank you to everybody. I suspect today and tomorrow will be insane. But, be strategic about where you put your shows. Put stuff out in advance. We're okay with pop-ups. But the people that are out there in advance, when Dave goes live, a lot of times he never puts it out there in advance, so it's a bad example. But if you see a show where I've got it scheduled 2 days, 3 days, 4 days out, and there's nobody behind me, that's a great place to put a show. Great place to put a show. When selling multiple items, does district let you create a temporary listing? Same way steps as whatnot. When selling multiple items, does district create a temporary listing? I don't think so. I don't think so, and I've never heard of district before. Feel free to send me a message. Okay, yeah, that's the other thing. Reach out, especially people that are willing. You know, some people are super busy, right? I got more messages than you could imagine on here, and I try on here for sure, but I've basically given up on Instagram and all those other things because I'm trying to focus on here. You just say you, yes, that's correct. Dibda.com. I'm trying to look for some more questions really quick before we go here, but there's a few. I give up trying. What do you mean you give up trying, Death Pile? Lincoln Lane Treasures. Listen, we are excited about the future. Just give it some time and patience. We have, I don't know, Mike, tell us how many people are sitting there ready for applications, right? There's tons of people who have sent in applications. Be patient. We're working on onboarding. Mike's working very hard on it. And there's some other stuff going on, so we're working through it. 20 people told you I want in. 20 people told you I want in. Second love. I'm drowning in inventory, but I forgot how to sell. You forgot how to sell. What am I missing, y'all? Y'all are laughing at me. He asked like 10 times. Oh, Mike gave up. Mike gave up. All right, Mike, what's your question? I'm giving you my full attention for the next 10 seconds, and then we're going to raid into Second Chance Treasures. Mike, oh, it's too late, Mike. We're raiding. You can join Second Chance Treasures. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm going to do more of these in the future, and I want to invite some sellers on here that have been awesome to us. So thank y'all. Enjoy. I'm coming on at 2 selling. Jimmy's coming on at 3 selling. Rod's coming on. So Rod's bringing crazy stuff. Jimmy's bringing crazy stuff. If you're a buyer, get in these shows today. Should be really fun. Sunnyside Homestead is doing DVD blowouts right now. Jeff Singer over on cards, and Second Chance Treasures toys.